All right, guys, so we finally have a phone that has standby like an iPhone, and that is the Samsung A20s. Believe it or not, this phone stood by for 7.5 hours and didn't move in battery not once. Stayed at 100 for 7.5 hours just sitting. And that is rare for an Android phone, but this phone actually pulled it off. I'm kind of surprised. But now, how's the battery life been? Well, the battery life on this thing is incredible. I get, let me see, I got 8.5 hours of screen on time, and I'll post the screenshots. I ended up closing out with 8.5 hours, 8 hours and 40 minutes. 8 hours and 40 minutes of screen on time, and it had 9% left, and it lasted a day and 2 hours. So 26 hours, 8 hours and 40 minutes of screen on time with 9% left. And I took several screenshots along the way to post up so you can see. I just was monitoring my battery life, and this phone is absolutely great for battery. I was kind of surprised that it got 7.5 hours of standby time, like just sitting at 100, because most Android phones pull just sip overnight. But this is iPhone standby time, iPhone battery life right here. Seriously, iPhone battery life all the way. There's no other way to say it. If you want a phone that's got a big screen, nice and thin, good looking, this is the phone for you. Decent cameras, decent performance for $168. Folks, you can't go wrong. It's just one of those things. Some phones, and obviously this is because of the Snapdragon 450 and then also the 720p display. But this is a nice 720p display. When I watch videos and stuff, it doesn't even bother me that I can't go higher than 720 because it's on a small screen like this. So what does it really matter? But the phone does record in 1080p. But speaking of battery life, I'm totally impressed with this phone. And I knew that I would be impressed, but I didn't know what the final numbers would be. And remember, this is just one of the first rotations. So imagine how it's going to be the longer I use it. In the next 3 to 6 months, maybe the battery will get better. I've learned that the more I use a phone, and it really starts to learn your behavior, and this is still learning my behavior, by the way. It's not like, the phone isn't registering like official numbers yet, saying this is how long your phone should last. That's what Samsung phones do. But this one is, in fact, still in the learning phase. It's only been like 3 or 4 days or whatever, but it's still in that learning process. And the battery life on here is more than impressive. I guarantee you will get at least 7 hours of screen on time out of this device. Seriously. So it's your man Jay. Hope you guys enjoy, man. Quick, straight to the point, battery life video. This phone is awesome. iPhone battery life, for real.